Yeah, sunny day, sunny summer day.
All right, here we go. It is Monday, June 28th, and we're back after a long week off. I hope everyone missed us because I missed you. Joe and Harry, H&J Talk Sports, back for another round. Harry, did you miss us?
Yeah, it was a long, 2 weeks since we recorded?
1 week.
We didn't record last week.
It felt like 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks since we have recorded.
Yes. Yeah, I guess 2 weeks since we've actually recorded a show. 1 week since we've had a show. Yeah, we took a week off. Figure we take a little summer break. It's summer. There's not a lot to talk about, but in that week off, we got a lot to talk about. I mean, obviously, we're at the Stanley Cup Finals now, but who cares? Because it's Tampa and it's Montreal. Let's focus on what's important to us. And the big news of the week is obviously, hold on a second before we get into that. We need 100 subscribers by football season. At the time of recording this, we're sitting at 65. I need 5 by the end of the week. Hey guys, if you're watching this, go subscribe and then go in the comments and let me know what subscriber you are.
Tell your friends. Come to the show.
Tell your friends, tell Facebook, right?
We want to build up. Football season comes, it's going to be good.
Share it on Facebook and be like, man, this is the best Pittsburgh Steelers there is now. As Harry almost dies on camera.
Excuse me. Yep.
Speaking of almost died, you think taking a week off I could shave, but no, I look like a bum.
Yep. I agree.
Anyways, big news this week. Out of nowhere, DeCastro was let go by the Steelers. People were initially freaking out, saying, whoa, what a dumb move by the Steelers. But I guess the issue is he's got to have like a third ankle surgery, and he is contemplating whether he can play football anymore.
Yeah. It's a rough one. That one's going to hurt. He's the best lineman.
Yeah.
Has been the best lineman for a long time.
Especially with all the turnover. You got to think it's almost a completely new line. There's one veteran guy that's coming to teach and help the younger guys into the transition. He knows the system. Now he's gone.
Well, you've lost 3 guys that have been on the line for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
lost Pouncey, which I guess arguably you're a leader, and then DeCastro, which is probably your next leader.
Yeah, DeCastro was the best. He was one of the best in the league. And
so, in a move, they signed Trey Turner. Is it Trey or Try? I guess he goes by Trey Turner. It's just spelled weird. Hey, he's a Pro Bowl, 5-time Pro Bowl lineman. He's a little younger than DeCastro. Is it a lateral move? No.
Not replacing DeCastro like that.
Yeah. I don't think so either. He's had a lot of injury issues too. Someone put the games he's missed over the past couple of years, and it's been quite a bit. So I think that's a concern, man. You still have depth. Like, even if you have him, you got to anticipate at some point you're going to have injuries on that line. What do you do week 6 when you got 2 linemen injured? Who's up?
It might be a rough year up front.
It could be, which makes the closer we get to football, the worse my predictions look. Yours look better and better every week.
For now, we'll see.
Confidence slowly going down here. Man, you're going to have someone step up. I don't know. I'm just thinking week 7, 2 people go down. Like, who do you fill in the gaps with? That's what I'm worried about. If your line's healthy all year, which it won't be, I think it can manage, but you're going to have injuries at some point and you have no depth. Last week, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's going to affect your first round pick. You got Najee Harris, and then his lines drop out. His best lineman's gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's because, I mean, yeah, he can be as good as he can be the best back there in the league, but if he doesn't have a line,
and that's what the critique on social media and in sports news is who's going to block for him.
Yeah.
And before I could defend that a little bit, but now I'm getting worried.
Yeah.
Last week, before all this went down, I was going to talk about actually free agents visiting the Steelers, and Trey Turner was one of them. So they ended up signing him. Malik Hooker, we talked about a while ago. Still haven't signed him. Ryan Kerrigan also visited. Maybe with some cap relief, they go and sign some more guys for depth now.
Let's see. It does open up some space. You got 2 picks that you picked up in the 3rd and 4th round that are linemen that are going to get thrown into the fire.
It's going to be a young line, that's for sure.
And then what we picked up, Trey Turner. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be different. I think the beginning of the season is going to be rough. They got to get together. They got to mesh.
Yeah. You got a big learning curve. You have essentially an entirely new line. So you're not mixing new guys in with a couple veterans. I mean, it's day one. It's on NFL football for these.
And it will affect everything. It will affect the passing game, the running game.
Especially with a center. The biggest turnover is your center position on the line. And you think with that year you change the center, you'd want some stable people to flank him. It's all new now. So Can I revisit my prediction?
We'll make another one before the season starts.
Right before the season starts. Yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments. Are you panicking as I am not panicking yet, but I want to? We'll see. We'll see. I guess we got to talk about the NHL playoffs. I had a whole speech prepared before Tampa won, and I thought it was good, so I'm going to do it anyways. The Islanders and Montreal, these are the 2 teams I never would have picked for the Stanley Cup final, and here we are. The last teams I would have picked, but the Islanders lost, so I can't say that anymore. It's Tampa and Montreal.
Tampa's been hot. They
You weren't impressed by my joke, by the way. You didn't like that. Tampa has been hot. Man, how much have I underestimated him? I think every round I picked against them, but I said my gut's telling me to go with Tampa, but I don't think so. And they keep winning.
That was a rough series. That was a tough series, but they got it.
It was.
Islanders were scorching hot. And
they're still getting outshot, just like they did against the Penguins. They're getting outshot every single game.
Sometimes the luck goes your way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they showed it in the Pittsburgh series. They got outplayed, outshot by a lot some of those games, but were able to hold on.
Goaltending and defense, and that's what a lot of people. I mean, Montreal is the same way. They're getting outplayed, they're getting outshot, but goaltending and defense has pulled them to the Stanley Cup Finals.
But we'll see. Now, Montreal, they're a team that a lot of people didn't expect. I thought they would lose in the first round.
My last pick.
And they've been hot, so it's like another Islanders team.
Yeah.
So, who knows what's going to happen?
I can't believe Vegas and Colorado both didn't make it to the finals.
Yeah, I was rooting for Vegas. Vegas let me down. Yeah. Montreal, we'll see.
Vegas's offense doesn't get it done, but there was a few moves in that series to juggle goaltenders mid-series. It's going to be looked at going forward into the offseason is questionable. If you stuck with Fleury the whole way, how would that have changed the series? Or if you went to Leonard and then stayed with him instead of switching back to Fleury again, how would that have changed the series? If it did. Kind of a weird move.
Here we are.
Who wins, Harry?
I'm going to go with...
Don't say Tampa.
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
I'm going against my gut again, and I'm going to go with Montreal.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
I'll say it again. Pens fans, you don't want Tampa to win. We're the only back-to-back Stanley Cup champion in the cap era.
I think this year you get another one. So.
I hope not.
Tampa's hot.
And then you got the asterisk, though. They got $100 million cap right now because of a loophole.
We will see.
Which I hate it when people bring that up, but being a Penguin fan, I'm going to bring that up like crazy if they win.
I'm going Tampa in 6.
I'm going to go Montreal in 6. I hope Montreal. I don't want to see Tampa win, and I would love to see Toronto burn to the ground if Montreal wins.
Yeah.
So, Habs all the way. A Stanley Cup for Carey Price would be awesome. One of the best goaltenders of the last generation. So, let's go Habs. Another NHL news we haven't talked about is the expansion draft. Seattle Kraken are going to be a team next year. The expansion rules are the same as they were when Vegas came into the league. So each team can protect 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and a goaltender, or 8 skaters and a goaltender. If a player has a no move, no trade clause in their contract, you have to protect them. First-year players, rookies are exempt. So, who do the Penguins protect? I have a list. You could tell me what you think of the list, because I know you don't have a list.
Maybe I do have a list.
Do you have a list?
I might.
Let's hear it.
I don't have a list.
Okay, I'll go. So I went with 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and a goaltender. Crosby and Malkin, of course, plus they got no move, no trade. You have to protect them. People are saying let Malkin go or trade Malkin. No. He's got a no move, no trade, guys. So Crosby, Malkin, Gensel, and Kapanen. After here, it gets a little interesting. You have 3 spots left on forward. I have McCann, Tanev, and Rust. Rust is 29 years old, which I didn't know until I started making this list. I still feel like he just came into the league as a rookie and won us the Stanley Cup, but apparently he's already almost 30 years old. So that could possibly be a guy that you let go. So on offense, I have McCann, Rust, and Tanev filling up my last spots, but I could easily see Zucker slotting in for one of those guys, even though I think he's been bad as a Penguin, so he would be my choice to let go. And he's also 29. And you also got Bluger, who might be worth to protect over one of those guys. But I got Crosby, Malkin, Gensel, Kapanen, McCann, Rust, Tanev protected. On defense, Letang, Dumoulin, and Matheson. And in goaltender, Jerry. I saw a lot of people saying Letang, Dumo, and Pettersson. I don't know why you would protect Pettersson on defense. That doesn't make any sense to me. He hasn't been that good. Matheson's been pretty good, and he's only 27. Bluger. Or no, sorry. Marino is exempt because he's too young. So you don't got to worry about protecting him. So my final list, Crosby, Malkin, Gensel, Kapanen, McCann, Rust, Tanev, Letang, Dumoulin, Matheson, and Jerry. Let me know your guys' lists in the comments down below. Which means you're going to lose Zucker. And depending on who you protect here, probably Zucker, McCann, Bluger, and Tanev, if you don't protect them, would be the guys I would say. Or even Carter. I don't know if a team would take Carter because he's so old, but he's been good for the Penguins. So what do you do there? Would you take Carter if you were the Kraken? No.
I don't know. Depends on who else you get.
Yeah,
Vegas was really good after their first season.
He was good with the Penguins, but he wasn't good in LA. So I think the Kraken taking him is a big long shot. I think they'd be much safer taking a guy like Tanev, Bluger, McCann if they're available. One of those guys are going to be available. Based on my list, I think you'll probably lose Zucker or Bluger. So I don't know. Unless you protect Bluger and then you lose possibly McCann. Hopefully they take Zucker.
When is the draft? The expansion draft?
I have no idea. Probably next month. NHL draft is not coming up when I type it in. Awesome. It is July 23rd.
Okay.
So a little less than a month away. That's exciting. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments about that. Who would you protect and who do you think is going to get taken up by the Kraken? I think the Pens' most enticing picks, if they're available, are probably Bluger, because he's a great young center. Probably Bluger. If Pens don't protect him, I'm guessing Bluger's gone. And then you got Tanev, Zucker, and Rust if they don't protect him. The only guys I'd really be shocked if they didn't protect other than Crosby and Malkin were Gensel, Kapanen. I think those guys are definitely protected. Hey, they could take DeSmith. He's been a solid backup. Pretty good cap, too. You never know. Anything else to add, or you feel that's good?
I feel we're good.
Okay. You think the Kraken will be as good as Vegas, or was that a fluke?
I don't know. My guess would be no. It'd be hard to replicate that, but
they got kind of lucky, man. They took a lot of players that were really not good on other teams, and then they went to Vegas, and all of a sudden they're superstars in the league.
Man.
So they get a chance, and a lot of teams gave them draft picks to protect players, which a lot of teams say they're not going to do this time. So we'll see how that turns out. I would guess they probably won't be as good as Vegas right away. But we'll see. I hope not. God damn. We're going to need another team. Top of the NHL. Man, we haven't talked about WVU in since week 4 of our show.
Wow.
Our 4th episode. But hey, we finally got some West Virginia news. So for all you West Virginia fans that follow us, kind of big news, I guess. West Virginia signed a 4-star quarterback, Nicco Marchiol. Marchiol. He's got an L at the end of his name. Hey, Nicco, if you're watching our show, why don't you let us know how you pronounce your name and come on and do an interview? Big news, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a good pick. But he's been never mind. I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, he flipped. He was committed to Florida State, and he switched.
You always worry about that with these guys flipping. It's been happening a lot more.
Nothing's signed. It's just a verbal commitment.
Yeah, and there's a long time till the season. But for right now, I'm really excited about it.
I heard some rumors that some other players are going to come, good players that he knows, to play with him.
Well, that's what I was going to mention. After he got announced he was committed, on Twitter, you've seen a lot of other 4-star players having conversations with him and him telling them, let's go, let's do it in West Virginia. A big one, Jacoby Smith, who we talked about in week 2 of our show, 4-star wide receiver that had West Virginia on his list of 16 to 20 teams. He was one of the first people Nicco reached out to and said, hey, let's do it next year.
Yeah.
And he's got 3 teams left to decide. West Virginia's on his short list of 3 teams. I'm guessing it's between them or Miami. So Jacoby Spells might be there. I saw another, I can't remember who it was, 4-star running back, having a conversation with him. So that's the big thing about these guys. Honestly, you don't know if they're going to turn out to be any good. West Virginia's had some 4-star quarterbacks that have turned out to be nothing. So you never know. But what makes this big, I think, is as for a recruiting standpoint. Now you're going to get some wide receivers and running backs potentially giving West Virginia a harder look.
They're getting a good class. Putting together a good class. Another issue you have is this transfer portal stuff.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if a player is going to stay. If a team's flailing and a team's doing terrible, these guys are just going to leave.
Yeah.
It's hard. Nowadays, it's harder than ever. It's become kind of like basketball. Instead of guys, if you have really good players, they do really well, they go to the draft. In football, you have good players, they do really well, they're going to go to a good team, especially if the prospects look bad.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to put it together on the field. If you're finishing in the middle or bottom half of the Big 12 every year, these guys are going to go. They're going to go. Any guy that becomes a star is just going to leave because he's going to go somewhere where he has a chance to win something.
Well, one thing that's good about this too, he had a lot of offers, and he had some big school offers. He turned down Florida, Arizona State, Georgia State, Georgia, LSU, Louisville, Michigan, Mississippi, Nebraska, Rutgers, TCU, USC, man, South Carolina. I mean, he turned down some big schools to come to West Virginia.
Wow.
Those weren't like some little schools reaching out, and this was some top schools in there. So that makes you kind of hopeful. Hopefully this is, finally Neil Brown's recruiting that we've been hearing about is finally turning into something.
Well, he's going to get a chance to play early. We really don't have a quarterback for the future.
No, I mean, he might be in freshman year, which is
yeah,
good for
he
him
could
too.
come.
I mean, that's another way to keep him around if he's playing.
Yeah, it's a passing league. You're going to get the opportunities. Your competition's probably not as much as these other schools. So come, bring some dudes, and get together, build it. Maybe we'll have another good era. It's been a while.
I hope so. We've been due, man. I
right
think
now
Rivals has him ranked as the 14th top QB prospect right now.
Well, the 2021 class has 2 ESPN 300 commits. Got 2 4-stars, no 5-stars, 14 3-stars. The 2022 class has 1 4-star right now, but they're building
for West Virginia.
Yeah,
I thought we had a couple 4-star defensive linemen that just transferred.
That transferred or
Yeah.
committed?
Oh, you mean you're talking committed?
Yeah.
Well, hey, this could get the ball rolling. Like I said, I've seen him talk to a bunch of 4-stars on Twitter after he committed.
But this is something West Virginia hasn't had in a long time either. When's the last time we've had a quarterback that we actually recruited from high school? Geno Smith is the last guy that we recruited from
Geno
high school
Smith,
that played.
Mm-hmm. I think Will Greer was a transfer.
Yes, Will Greer, Daggy is a transfer.
Well, David
Austin
Sills
Kendall.
we recruited, right? Even though he ended up being a wide receiver.
Yeah.
He was a 4-star quarterback recruit.
He played receiver.
Yeah,
he ended up switching to receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a long time, and there's something to be said for being in the system more than a year or two. So
yeah,
it's good. It's a good sign now.
And he's a big kid, 6'3", 218. I mean, that's
put it together.
Pro-size quarterback already.
Gotta put it together. We'll see.
Trevor Lawrence in Pittsburgh, dare I say? Is this the next T. Lawrence?
No.
Harry, I'm trying to hype up our fan base here, man.
You never know, though. Sometimes you get surprised. I don't think Trevor Lawrence was hyped before he got in. He was big time. But this could be... This guy has more hype than somebody like Pat White had when they came in.
Yeah. He ended up being one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Hey, if he's better than Will Greer, and if we can get, Will Greer, Geno Smith level quarterback, I'm for that.
I could see, I think if you could get a Geno Smith, possibly better. Maybe Will Greer better. Maybe. Will Greer had a lot of hype. It could be similar. You got to get some people around him, though.
Yeah. And this opens up the opportunity, too. Again, hopefully we start seeing the ball rolling out, snowballing in the next few weeks. We get some more 4-star recruits that want to come play with them, some wide receivers. Jacoby Spells, I'm talking to you, man. We've been trying to recruit you since week 2 of this damn show. Let's go. Enough playing around. He tweets pictures in every jersey that he's team that wants him. He tweets the Arizona State fans, get me to 4,000 followers, which is cool. It's a new age. I understand everyone wants followers. Stop yawning, Harry. Stop yawning, Harry. Stop yawning.
We need these guys.
Don't get bored with
a team sport. You need these guys.
We need them. Hopefully he's the next one. If you get our 4-star QB and then Jacoby Spells commits next, who knows what happens by 22. 22 could be an exciting year.
See?
My big WVU news last week before we decided to take a little break was WVUs also have full capacity in their stadium next year. So that's cool too.
Yeah, I think things are getting back to normal. Football season should be a little more normalcy.
So we're going to a game next year, right?
Probably. I don't know where we'll be at. But I'll probably go to one.
We'll let the fans know. We can do a meet and greet. But we need lots of viewers before we get to that level. So go subscribe. Right? 100 subscribers by football season, guys. Come on. I want 70 by next week's show. Subscribe, share it on Facebook, on Twitter. If you're tired of these stupid ass, old ass sports takes, I see all these dumb takes from these sports newspaper writers on Twitter all the time. Dumb takes. One I can't even say his name now. Big ass defenseman for the Penguins to come back to Pittsburgh next year. Dumb. Come on, guys. This is where the real news is at. I haven't decided if I should cuss on the show yet.
I've done it, but not much.
I keep censoring myself. I don't know. If we cuss, does YouTube algorithm us?
Keep it to a minimum.
Okay.
Until football season.
Till football season.
Then when we spaz out, we'll let it go.
By week 6, the explicitives will be flying.
Could be a fun year.
Could be. We'll see. Anything else, Harry? Did we cover it all?
I think we got it all. Next week we'll have UFC 264 predictions.
Oh, that's exciting.
That's coming 2 weeks from this weekend. So.
2 weeks already. Gosh, it's almost July. Which means we need to hurry on the subscribers, guys.
Yep.
We took a week off and it hurt. Let's go. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, H&J Talk Sports. Let me just questions. I didn't do fan questions this week because I forgot. But hey, I don't got to remind you guys. You can always ask us questions and we'll save them for the show. So do that. Next week, I will definitely remember, though, to remind you guys. Viewer questions. Tonight, Montreal and Tampa Bay. Let me know your predictions in the comments. Who we got? Who do we want to win? Don't say Tampa Bay.
Yep. Tampa's winning game 1.
I don't know. I feel like Montreal wins game 1, even if Tampa wins the series. Montreal likes to lull people to sleep.
Yeah, but Tampa's hot. They're coming off. They just won game 7.
Yeah.
They're going to still be in it, still in the playoff swing.
We'll see tonight.
Game 1.
We'll see tonight.
Set the tone.
I missed you, Harry. Sorry I had to cut you off last week.
All right.
See you guys next week. Don't forget to subscribe down below. H&J Talk Sports. H&J Talk Sports on Twitter, Instagram. We'll see you next week, guys.
See you next week.